Again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is a huge, massive month. May is going to be called the May that you will remember for the rest of your lives. I was with Holton and the other folks on the team, and we had a core group of folks last Wednesday, and we were able to work through what the rest of this year and the rest of next year is going to look like. And it is absolutely incredible what's been put together. It is being mapped out down to the finest details and was mapped out to some of the finest details. We've still got a little bit more work, obviously, to do on some of the events coming up much later in the year, but we've got the rest of the year mapped out. So it is going to be incredible what's happening here. So let me mute here for just a second. All right, because I've got my daughter who's taking the SAT today. She's printing over here on the printer, which is great. So she's also probably going to come in here. So, you know, hey, gotta love it. Gotta love the way things work out and how it's live. I've got on with me this morning, I've got Lori Speers, and Lori is here. We're going to be doing the training this morning because we've got the team spread out all over the country and even in other countries this morning. And so what I want to do is we've got a lot to cover. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in on to the slides. So let's do this. And let me be sure that we've got the slides up. So let's rock and roll. And let's start with boom gear. So you guys can go out and you can get all kinds of boom gear. And I know many of you have already. Some of you have been looking for your boom gear and you're emailing our support team, support@iboomerang.com. You don't have to do that anymore. Go ahead and go to gear@iboomerang.com. You can email us at gear@iboomerang.com. So go ahead and do that. And again, you know, hey, got my boom gear on this morning, and it's basically a talking point. I was out the other day, I was walking in downtown Santa Rosa. I'm here in California again. And I was talking to meeting a couple of friends downtown, and we were at a restaurant. Somebody saw my shirt and they're like, hey, what is iboomerang? It gave me a great opportunity to ask them a couple of different questions. One question was, well, do you travel? Well, of course I do, Mark. Would you like to travel better for less and stay in 5-star resorts at 2-star prices? Of course I would. Are you crazy? Okay, fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and send you a link, and you can go ahead and it'll walk you through exactly what iboomerang is. And it was that simple. So go ahead, get your boom gear, wear it around town. We've got a lot of new things coming too with the boom gear. I know that Tunde, who runs the store, the online store, he is in Mexico right now with Holton, and Edwin Haynes and David Manning. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. But he's in Mexico right now, but he's got a lot of new gear coming. Now, a lot of it is running out of the current gear. So if you go to the website, you may find that certain things are not in stock anymore. But go ahead, get over there, go to boomgear.com. boomgear.com, BUUMGEAR.com. All right. Now, what's happening today? Well, there are a lot of events happening that I probably don't even know about. And I'm sure that people are doing good parties all over the place today. But a couple of events that are corporate events are happening today. One is in Chicago. That's where we've got Tigray the VP of Business Development and the VP of pretty much everything. We've got Peter Hirsch, who's our Chief Giving Officer of the Boom Foundation. They are both in Chicago this morning, and I know that there are a lot of people in Chicago. I'm going to talk about a couple of people this morning that actually drove there, and I'll tell you how far they drove and how long it probably took them. So there's no excuses for some of the folks that are on this call this morning not to be in Chicago. Then we've got the Cuatro de Mayo event happening down in Pachuca, Mexico. And that's with none other than our chairman and CEO, Holton Buggs. We've got the CEO of Extreme Travel as well, David Manning. And you can't forget our global master ambassador, Mr. Edwin Haynes. They are all down there in Mexico. And this is like the big launch that's happening for all of Mexico, Central America, and Latin America. And I saw some of the pictures of the party that they had last night, and it looked absolutely amazing. It was a casino night. So if you're on this call, fantastic. You are getting fed. You are actually doing the right things, hashtag doing the right things, and you're in the right place. Now, if you can get to any of these events in Chicago or in Mexico or any of the other events, I know that there's one going on in St. Louis. I know there are a lot of events going on all over the country and all over the world. Go ahead and get yourself there after the call. But listen, May, we've got a lot planned. There is a lot that's going to be going on, and you guys are going to be able to capitalize on everything that is happening in the month of May, because it's going to be jam-packed with all kinds of different things that we're going to be doing to help you grow your business. So let me jump into the next slide, because I want to keep rocking and rolling here because there is a lot to cover. So hashtag good. So who knows what hashtag good means? Who knows what hashtag good means? I want you to go ahead and light up the chats and tell me what hashtag good means. Because if you've been paying attention, you'll know that it means get out of debt. Get out of debt. And I can see that the chat lines are rocking and rolling here. So, but get out of debt is exactly what it is that we're looking to support people with. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was an article yesterday, or actually, no, I take it back. I don't think the article's come out yet. I'm way ahead here. I'm giving you guys some information that's not launched yet. So, but Business from Home is going to be doing another article, and that article is going to be about hashtag good, about getting out of debt. We've got a couple of our very own ibüümerang folks who have gotten out of debt, and they are going to be quoted in that article. And we're going to talk about the philosophy in that article around get out of debt. And it is a philosophy. ibüümerang is not just the name of the company, it's a philosophy. And that philosophy is all about giving out goodwill and expecting nothing in return. But if you do give out goodwill, you will get goodwill back in return. So good is very much the same way. And, you know, there has been the industry has done things a certain way for a long time, meaning the network marketing industry. And so that has caused a lot of folks to go into debt. Okay. And you know, it's like, hey, you know, you've got to, a lot of people say fake it until you make it, and you've got to play that role, right? Well, what we're saying is you don't have to play that role. You don't have to play the role of being in debt to look good, because looking good means you're going to be in debt, because, and what we'd like to do is flip that. So not only do you look good, but you are also getting out of debt. You know, I think one of the quotes was, I'd rather see somebody driving a Honda Civic that's paid off than driving, you know, a BMW or a Porsche that is not paid off and has put you further into debt. So we want to make sure that we break that mold. And definitely, I know Holton is doing that. So what I'd like to do, and this is a video. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it is Tawana Houston, and she is getting out of debt. Jackie Pippins was the first one that got out of debt. And now we've got Tawana Houston, who is getting out of debt. And I want to see if this video can play. Many of you, if you haven't seen it, go to Facebook. You've probably seen it on Facebook. But go ahead, go over to Facebook, take a look at the video. Let me see if it plays here. Yep.
Hey, Boomerang family. I'm coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. And I want to share with you guys how excited I am about the movement that the company has been promoting, which is good, get out of debt. Now, I've always paid my cars on time, but I never thought about paying them off early. I thought I was doing something good. But now with this new environment, it's opening up my mind. I'm doing different things. I'm looking at life a little differently, and I want to have zero debt, meaning zero balance. So we have 3 vehicles, and it's our goal to pay all 3 of them off this year, but we just paid off 1. Now we have the Silverado, we have the Tahoe, and we have this Malibu over here. Now, we haven't paid these 2 off yet, but this one over here, this baby here, we just paid off. Now, it was under $4,000 is all we had left, just a little under $4,000, but still, we saved ourselves over $2,000 in interest. We had 11 payments left on this car. But with that first iboomerang check that my husband and I earned, we were able to pay this off and help keep that extra $2,000 in our pocket. My daughter now has a paid off vehicle, and now we're working towards paying the other 2 off, and we can't wait to share with you guys when we do it. So I'm loving it that the company is promoting get out of debt. Boom.
That is awesome. So here's Tawana. She's throwing down the boomerang, the iboomerang signs, and this is exactly what it is that we want to create a philosophy around. It's about people getting out of debt. Jackie Pippins was the first. She paid off 2 cars. Tawana Houston and her husband are the second, paying off that vehicle. And ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing better than knowing that you've got vehicles, and it's not just going to be vehicles. It's going to be that home behind her one day will be paid off as well. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a philosophy that we want to infuse into the culture of who iboomerang is, and the philosophy around giving back and being good. So not only that, we're going to have what are called good parties. And I know you guys have heard about those. So if you do have a good story, are you being good? Go ahead and send that good story to me at marketing@iboomerang.com. Again, that's marketing@iboomerang.com. All right, moving along, because we've got Miss Lori that I want to get on here to get her training you guys. So how many of you have a case of the DTRTs? The DTRTs, it sounds kind of bad, doesn't it? Do you have a case of the DTRTs? Well, it's not bad. It's actually good as well to have a case of the DTRTs. What are the DTRTs? For the folks that aren't on, that's the first time they've ever gotten on the Saturday morning call, tell them what the DTRTs are. Go ahead and chat it up in the chat rooms. What are the DTRTs? All right, I see you guys rocking and rolling on the chat. Okay, doing the right things. Doing the right things. That's what a case of the DTRTs are. So let's get into it, because this week, I've got more and more and more and more slides to go over than I ever have before. So let's start. So Ronell Sylvester out in Brooklyn, New York, and you can see it up here in the upper left corner of the screen. They are in somebody's living room, it looks like, right? And this is exactly what we're talking about. This looks like, to me, like a good party. So We've got Tanya Lawrence down here. It looks like she is rocking and rolling too with a good party. We've got Bev Finnern and her team again. She's been spotlighted several times here on the Top Gun Spotlight, and this is her third time. We've got Beverly Pitts and Shannon Gibbs down here, again, in their living rooms, right? This is where it all happens. It's the living rooms and the dens. And now over here, we've got Salathil and Karen Atkins. Let me tell you about them. They live in Colorado, Aurora, Colorado. They are driving to Chicago to be at this Super Saturday with T. Gray and Peter Hirsch. That is, and I actually mapped it out. It is over 1,000 miles. As a matter of fact, it's 1,004 miles. And if you were driving it, it takes you 14 hours and 38 minutes without any stops. I want to give a huge, massive Top Gun spotlight and shout out to Salathil and Karen Atkins. This is what it takes, folks. They didn't let the distance stop them. They didn't say, well, gosh, we don't have, maybe we can't fly, so we just won't go. They drove. They got in their car and they drove over 1,000 miles, and they're going to get in their car and they're going to drive over 1,000 miles back home. If there are two people that deserve to be on Top Gun Spotlight, it's those two right there. And what they're going to take away from that is more than what the folks right there in Chicago are going to take away from that event. They're going to get more out of that event than anyone else because of the sacrifice and dedication that it took to go where they went and drive that distance. I mean, that to me is the essence of what the DTRTs and #good is all about. And it's what iboomerang is about. And it's what the philosophy of iboomerang is about. It's about seeking out the knowledge, and it's about letting nothing get in your way or stop you from getting there. So, and I've always found the ones that have the biggest challenges to overcome are the ones that get the most out of everything they do. So I want to give a huge shout out again, one more time, to those two folks right there, the Atkins family, and what they've done and the sacrifice they've made to get to Chicago and see those folks out there. All right. We've got some more folks here. Now, this guy and his wife, I think, Juan and Clau from Colombia, sent me, how many pictures is that? Gosh, I don't know. They sent me all kinds of pictures. I could only put 3 up there that were big enough, but the rest of them, look at them all. And what I'm seeing is this. I'm seeing them meeting in small groups, one-on-ones, two-on-ones, small group settings. I do see a couple of larger group settings. And what they're doing is they are getting busy. They are actually going through the process of what Holton talked about the other night. He talked about a fast start plan and a fast start game plan. I'm going to go over that and I'm going to review that this morning. But these two folks right here are rocking and rolling in Colombia. And not only are they rocking and rolling, they are on top of it and they are moving fast. Okay. And that's why we call it the fast start plan. And they are putting together events, and it looks like on a daily basis. So you want to, and you know what? These are the folks right here that we're going to see up on the stage in August, that we're going to see at that big event that we're going to have. That's going to be the grand opening of iboomerang. They are going to be there, and they are going to be the ones that are going to be up on that stage. And you're going to be saying to yourself, and many of you are going to be up on that stage, but some of you are going to be saying, but what do they do? You know, how did they get up there? What did they do? Well, let me tell you what they did. This. They got out there and they are sharing this information with as many people as humanly possible, as fast as possible. So if you're wondering what it is that people are doing, this is it. Let's move on. So we've got Bill and Gail Thurston. They've got folks in their home. Look at that. We've got Beverly Pitts and Shannon Gibbs, folks in their home. We've got Kiara, Alaric, Alicia, and Kim. Kim Phillips down there. Yeah. I've known her for, gosh, 14, 15 years now. And she's still, look at her, she's still getting into the living rooms and the homes of folks even today. And she's a master networker, and she's leading the team down there in Houston. I think this is where they are. So great job, folks. You're getting into the living rooms and dens, and that's where this business happens. And then we've got Patrice McRaven and Lashana Sellers. This is one that Tawana sent to me. And again, you know, they are in the living rooms and dens. They're having these good parties. I know they're calling them boom bashes as well. Well, we're calling them good parties, and they're having success. And I know that they're going to have a whole lot more. I know that they've got a lot planned, and that is through Tawana and her team. How is she getting out of debt, and how is she #good? Because she's supporting her team. And that's, you know, I really want to talk about that for a minute. You know, I saw Tawana and met her when we first launched at the Liftoff event in the Woodlands. And she obviously lives in Atlanta, Georgia, went down to Houston to be at that event. She wasn't going to miss the event. Okay. And you'll find that people that don't miss the events are the ones that have their business grow the fastest. Then she started traveling all over the country. And then when Holton went to Europe and went to Paris, she ended up going to Paris. She flew to Paris. Not only did she fly there, but she got some people to the meeting, and all three of the people and the guests that showed up for Tawana signed up in the business. She's willing to do what it takes. And I know a lot of other folks, Jackie Pippins, who's also one of our #good recipients, she flew over as well. And a lot of other folks flew to Paris to meet up with the team there. And again, you know, it's the ones that have the biggest challenges and overcome the biggest challenges and fly the longest distances or drive the longest distances are the ones that get the most out of the events. And you know what? Tawana got every last drop out of that event that she could get. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you now, and you know, some of you were saying, yeah, but you know what? It's too far. It's not too far, because your dream can't be too far. Your dream has to be the thing that drives you to be able to go over 1,000 miles and drive over 15 hours in a car to go after your dreams, because your dreams are good enough to go after, to do that, and to be able to get the information you need so you can achieve your dreams and get good and actually do the #doing the right things. Now, also, we've got Cesar Munoz here in a couple of these different pictures, and these are from last night. This is down in Pachuca, Mexico. Cesar, let me talk about him for a minute. He was one of our Sonic Boom Top Gun Spotlight recipients here a couple of weeks ago. And why was that? Because he was in 14 different cities in 27 days. 14 different cities in 27 days. At what level is Cesar? He's a diamond. How did Cesar become a diamond? 14 cities in 27 days. That doesn't include all of the Zooms he was doing. It doesn't include the good parties he was doing. It doesn't include the one-on-ones and the two-on-ones that he was doing. All of that was on top of the 14 cities in 27 days. He is going out there and he is working it. And he's chasing his dream, and he's achieving his dream. He's a diamond. He was a diamond in the first month here in ibüümerang. And by the way, folks, we're only 54 days old. So you know, it hasn't been that long, and we've already got multiple diamonds. We've got black diamonds. We've got a presidential ambassador. So, and then we've got a host of other emeralds, rubies, sapphires, and more folks. So go out there, chase those dreams down. Don't let them get away from you, and don't let anything stop you, more importantly. So now, finally, Jackie Underwood sent this to me 2 weeks ago, and I was supposed to get it on last week, and I did not. So she gets her own slide this week again. And this was before we talked about the good parties. She was already doing good parties and boom bashes in her home. And here she is with a whole host of folks in her home. And they did an event there. And I know she's doing multiple events, and she is doing multiple good parties in her home. So again, it's great to get to events. It's great to have events. It's great to have larger events. But where does it all start? It all starts in your home. It all starts in those coffee shops. It all starts with the one-on-ones, and then it grows into a much bigger event. And that's when you start moving into those other areas. But it all starts in your home. It's doable. Anybody can do it, right? And think about it. What is it that people are doing in their homes? What is this good party all about, right? It's about sitting down in your home, inviting some guests over that want to travel better for less, letting them take control of the I Decide presentation, assigning a pilot or a captain, and letting the passengers that are in the room guide the pilot or the captain while they walk through that I Decide. It's simple. It's fun. Everybody loves to do it. And so if you aren't having the good parties, go ahead and start having good parties. And let me get into exactly what it means to have a good party and how this works. So before I do that, though, I want to say this. Renee Young deserves her own slide here. Renee Young, in actually, this was last week. I know she had 104 customers. So in 50 days, in less than 50 days, Renee Young had 104 active customers. We talk about 100 customers giving and providing a $30,000 per year income in our slide. You know, income disclaimer here. We're going to talk about a little bit of money here, but what you put into it is what you get out of it. But we talk about that in the example, 100 customers taking one trip per year, $600 in average savings. Do the math, okay? That's $60,000 in travel savings. Half of that goes back in the form of travel savings bonuses that Renee Young will get in cash. That's a multiple five-figure income annually is what that can add up to over time. So Renee Young, hats off to you. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have customer stories, so I love it. You're sending me the DTRT stories. You're sending me the good stories. Send me some customer stories too. Send me the stories of your customers going out there using their boomerang booking engine, having a great time, saving money. Again, send all of those stories to me at marketing@iboomerang.com. All right, moving on. And there we go. And that's where you send it to. All right. #JustDifferent. You know, the industry of network marketing has been around for decades and decades and decades. And really a lot of times what happens is things get recycled. Things get recycled, right? Comp plans get recycled. Distributors get recycled. They say the same things. They do the same things. It's an industry of duplication, which is good a lot of times, but then also the duplication can go too far, and meaning it's time for the industry to evolve. It's time for us to do things differently. And that's what iBoomerang is all about. And that's the philosophy. And again, the philosophy was, you know, give and you will receive. Okay. Give out goodwill. and goodwill will return to you. We give out savings, okay? We give out savings to folks, and we get, in return, we get goodwill in the form of travel savings bonuses as well as travel override bonuses. It all comes back. And that's why I want to focus in on this for just a moment to say we are just different. And again, you know, talking about #good, right? It's just different. We're not here to tell you, go out and get a Rolex and go into debt. Go out and get a, you know, a new Porsche and go into debt. Don't do that, okay? Let's go ahead and get everything that you have currently that you own. Let's get that paid off. Let's do that first. Let's go ahead and have a mortgage burning party. I can't wait for the first one. You know, we're paying off car notes, and literally thousands of dollars in interest are being saved. That's money back in your pocket. That's smart. And it's #JustDifferent. So ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, light up the chat here. Light up the chat with Just Different. Let's do this. Let's make it different this time. Let's make sure that philosophically, we are going to be just different moving forward. So on that note, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that we're doing that are just different. And this is the fast start training that Holton went over the other night. And I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because you can go back and you can watch his training. And he went through it pretty rapidly as well. But this training is going to be happening all over the country. Let's dig in. First of all, write down your dream destination and send it to your sponsor. Why? Because we want you to dream. We want you to be sure that you're dreaming and thinking about that place that you want to go. It might be a few different places. Go ahead, write it down. And what we want to do is make sure that you're going to be able to achieve that goal. And every time your sponsor talks to you, they're going to ask you, hey, how close are we? How close are we getting to your dream destination, right? So write down your dream destination, send it to your sponsor. That's step one. Step two, put together a list of 150 opportunity seekers and 50 travel saving seekers. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there right now that are looking for a side hustle, right? So some of them are out there maybe driving an Uber or a Lyft or something like that, and it's taking up a lot of their time. With what we're doing here, how much time does it take you to send off an I-Decide presentation, send a free website to somebody, and let them book travel on it? Doesn't take, you know, how much time? I mean, a few minutes? And oh, that's the other thing I want to tell you about. You know what? Sending out those I-Decides. Oh, I need to talk about this. Hold on. Oh, you know what? I'll save it. Let me save it. So anyways, 50 opportunity seekers, 50 travel saving seekers. So you're talking about 50 TSAs, you know, that can join your team. And we're talking about 50 travel saving seekers that just want to travel better for less. Okay. So put together a list of 100. What do you do with that list? You go ahead and you're going to get 10 active boomerang customers, and you're going to send out 10 I-Decide. So become a jet setter, 10 plus 10 in 10 days, 10 plus 10 in 10 days. So 10, 10, and 10. That's all you got to remember. 10 active boomerang customers is what you want to get in 10 days, and send out 10 I-Decides as well. All right. Once you do that, you're going to be called a jet setter. And once you get in and once you create some jet setters, you're going to be in the jet stream. We're going to talk more about that at another time, but go ahead and do your 10 plus 10 in 10. All right. 10 plus 10 in 10. Now set up 4 good parties, #good parties. So that's what you're going to do with the list. And that's what the 10 plus 10 and 10 is going to drive for you. You're going to go ahead and set up 4 good parties and get those folks over to your home. Okay, or wherever it is you want to do it. You can go to their home and however you want to do that. But you're going to set up those good parties, and you're going to be able to let them fly the I-Decide. Let them fly the I-Decide, all right? Assign a captain and a pilot, and then let the passengers go ahead and direct the captain and the pilot who runs the I-Decide. And you know what you're going to find? you're going to find that once you set up these 4 good parties, hashtag good parties, you can set them up, 4 in a week, 4 in a couple of weeks, 4 in a month. But the quicker you do it, as you saw with some of the folks there that were sending me all those DTRT images, they were setting up multiple good parties in a week. Okay? So set up 4 good parties. And what you're going to find is that as these good parties happen, you're going to be able to start paying off some of your debt. So you're going to be able to start getting out of debt. And that's going to be car notes, mortgages. It's going to be all kinds of things. Credit cards that you can pay off. I don't care if it's a small, small debt that you paid off. I want to hear about it, and I want to be able to highlight it here on Saturday morning at flight school. So go ahead and send those stories to me, and go ahead and get those parties set up that drives the good. All right. It drives the good. All right. And finally, get registered for the next event. iboomerangevents.com is where you're going to go. Get registered for that event. Events is where people make life-changing decisions. The Atkins family who drove out there to Chicago over 1,000 miles, they made a decision, and they made a decision to get to that event. And that decision is going to be something that will probably change the course of their lives and the course of their business. I'll never forget it. When I first got in network marketing, I was very reluctant. I didn't want to join. I didn't want to get started, okay? And when I did get started, I got started at the lowest level. It was really a favor to a friend, okay? And then the next thing he did is he came over and he said, hey, we need to go to the event. And I was like, absolutely not. I'm not going to go to any event. I said, all right, well, where is this event? Is it close by? I live in California. I said, is it in San Francisco? He goes, no, it's in Orlando. And I was like, there is no way I'm going to Orlando. So we ended up in Orlando. And you know what? That event changed the course of my family's life. It changed our legacy. It wasn't just an event that I went to. It was the beginning of my network marketing career. And again, it has changed the course, literally changed the course of my life and my family's life. We've been able to do things, and we've been able to earn incomes, and we've been able to do things that a lot of people really dream of, and a lot of people are working towards right now. And I will tell you right now that event changed my life. We stood in the back of the room because that's where we were. We were just TSAs. And at that time, we were just distributors. We weren't any pins, or we hadn't even gotten to a different rank yet or anything. And we stood in the back of the room, and we watched people walk across that stage saying, you know what, I just, was able to do this, and I was able to, make this much money in this amount of time, and I was able to walk away from my job, and I was able to, do all of these things. And you know what, I wanted that. And I knew it was possible when I went to that event. And not only that, that event gave me the information I needed to go ahead and go out and build it big, but it also gave me the belief. Because I knew that there were people in network marketing, but I just thought it was, one of those pyramid things, and that, only the people at the top, were the ones that were successful. Well, it is true, because those are the ones that are working. Those are the ones that are out there knocking it out of the park every single day. Those are the Cesar Munozes. Those are the Edwin Haynes. Those are the Holton Buggs, because they go out and they work hard. And you know what? I put my head down. I got the right mentorship through Holton Buggs, and we went out and we worked hard, and we became 6-figure earners, and we got free. We got free. It's all because of that event. All right. Make an 18-month commitment. You know what? We did. We made an 18-month commitment, and 18 months later, I was able to allow my wife to walk away from her job, and I was able to walk away from mine. So, ladies and gentlemen, freedom is available, but you've got to commit. You know what? You know who committed? The Atkins family. They committed. And not only did they commit, they're making a sacrifice to put in that 15 or 16 hours that they're driving there and the 15, 16 hours that they're driving back. What are they going to get out of that event? Everything, every last drop. And so I guarantee you that they're going to be at the event on August 30th. So with that, let me go ahead and show you where we're going to be. We're going to be in Vegas. Full price is $250. Right now it's $179.99. It's going to be August 30th through September 1st. You are going to be able to really learn what it is you need to know. Now, I need to hustle through this. And also, I want to give you guys this. The price is going to go up. It's $179.99 now. It's going to go up again. I don't know when. So go ahead, get in there, get your tickets, and let's move on. All right. The zones. I really want to talk about the zones this morning. The white zone, the blue zone, and the red zone. You're going to hear more about this every single month. And it's going to be something that we're going to do every single month without fail, and that is the white zone. That's the 1st through the 10th. We are in the white zone right now. It's massive exposure, the 1st through the 10th. Then you got the blue zone, massive sponsoring. The 11th through the 20th is the blue zone. The red zone is massive volume. That's the 21st through the 30th. So let's step through each one of these extremely quickly. The white zone, the 1st through the 10th. What is massive exposure? How does that work? Well, events are how it works. And those events, what events am I talking about? The Saturday training that you're on right now. You're going to be able to also go to the Saturday events, the Super Saturdays that we're having all the time, all over the world in the country, that you'll be able to attend. We've got business briefings that are happening in multiple cities all across the world in the country. So go to the events. Zoom calls. We have these every single day. If you're not using the leaders and utilizing them for all of the information that they have, that they can do all of this for you on the Zoom calls. You don't have to give a presentation ever. Some of you are saying, man, I don't like to do that. Well, good, don't. Go ahead and get your guests on a Zoom call, right? And we have them daily. 3 times a day at a minimum, sometimes up to 5 times a day. As a matter of fact, let's see here. We've got one today, I think at noon with Tanya Mazel Joseph. And then I'm going to be doing the one at 6 o'clock tonight, Central Standard. And I'll be doing that Zoom call. Get your people on there. Somebody was asking, can I get people on, somebody was on Facebook yesterday or the other day. I can't remember. It all runs together now because it's so fun. But it all runs together because we're having a lot of fun, but they were asking on Facebook, are the Zoom calls, can I put people on the Zoom calls? I was like, yes, that's exactly what they are for. So folks, get people on those Zoom calls. Good parties. You can put a dent in your debt. Write that down. Put a dent in your debt. The good parties. Go ahead and set those 4 up. That's why I wanted to go over the fast start training, because you want to go ahead and set up 4 good parties. Well, what do I do with these good parties? Go ahead and get with the person who sponsored you. They can help you out, get you set up, and get you going on your good parties, right? And at those good parties, you can go ahead and utilize the I Decide. You don't have to present. Assign somebody to present. Assign somebody a captain or a pilot. Let the passengers drive that plane. All right, and then you can send I Decides. Send out your I Decides. Massive exposure in all of these different areas. And if you're doing all of these, you're doing it right, okay? You're going to the events. You're getting people to the events. You're getting people on the Zoom calls. You're having your 4 good parties every single week. You're sending out I Decides, right? You've put together your list of 100. You've got your 50 travel saving seekers. You got your 50 opportunity seekers, and you are just massively exposing them during the 1st through the 10th. And that's now. As a matter of fact, we're well into it. We're at Cuatro de Mayo, folks. We're on the 4th. You should have probably already had at least 10, 20, or 30 people exposed to the business at this point in time, okay? Now, sending I Decides. Let me tell you about Kendrick Benson. Kendrick Benson sends me on a semi-regular basis, he sends me information on how many I-decides he's sending out and what the result was. First time he sent me one of these messages was he said he sent 9 I-decides, 5 made a decision. What decision did they make? He got 3 TSAs and 2 customers out of it. And that's a 55% conversion rate, okay? 55%. That is unheard of. It is unheard of. And what did he do? He sent him a link. What did they do? They signed up. If you aren't utilizing your I-decide, you're missing it. You're missing it. Please use your I-decide. All right. And then recently, I think it was just this past week, he sent me another one. He said, I sent out 11 I-decides. And he said 3 became TSAs and he got 1 more customer. That's 36% conversion. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not massively exposing the business right now, it's not too late. You've got 6 more days. You've got today and 5 more days to get out there and expose and massively expose this business. Okay? And you know what? You start massively exposing this business, you send me pictures and I'm going to get you up on the Top Gun spotlight. And then you know what's going to happen after that? You're going to be one of our #good recipients. Yeah. So rocking and rolling. All right. Next step. Blue Zone, massive sponsoring the 11th through the 20th. So you get them in it, get them going at any level. Don't worry about it. Train them on the fast start. Get them going with the fast start training, and then they're going to get success, right? And then what are you going to do? It's going to be this continuous loop. You're still going to be tapping into the events, the Zoom calls, the good parties, and sending the I-decides. Who's doing that at that point? It's the people that you sponsored, right? And this is like a self-perpetuating, you just keep rocking and rolling on this. And this is how it works. This is how you're going to actually do it. And then you get into the red zone, massive volume, the 21st through the 30th. Again, you're sponsoring. Now what you're doing is you're upgrading, and we're going to have some incredible promotions for you throughout the month of May. I'm going to talk about those here in a minute, but hang on. So I need to finish this out. Again, what are you doing in the red zone? Sponsoring, upgrading, and promotions. You're rocking and rolling. And what are you still doing? You're still doing the events, the Zoom calls, the good parties, and sending the I-decides. Massive volume, massive, okay? But again, it all starts in the white zone. It all starts in the white zone. You've got to get out there and start massively exposing people to the opportunity and to the opportunity of saving money on travel. All right. And again, all you've got to do is tap into the system that's already here. Okay. Again, we've got Zoom calls every day. All right. Set up your 4 good parties. Send out your I-decides. Work with your sponsor, and they can support you. Okay. I'm going to pause right there, and then we've got a little bit of time left. And Lori, listen, I want you to go ahead and take as much time as you need. So Lori Speers has been in the travel industry as a travel agent. Now she is the director of travel at Extreme, and she has been in the industry for over 35 years. So she started when she was 5. Or younger maybe, huh? So Lori is just an incredible person. I love her to death. She's always there when I have a question. She's always available. She's there and loves to support people in getting their travel booked. And she has a team there up in Dallas that is supporting you. And actually, Lori is the one that oversees the team up there in Dallas and has them supporting you on a regular basis. She's a great lady. She testified at the Texas State Senate on behalf of the travel industry. You know, Extreme Travel, there's a reason why we teamed up with them. And Lori Speers being a part of Extreme Travel was a big reason for that. And then the other thing she is on the board of many of these different companies. I know she's on the board of CLIA and several more. So she is definitely a mover and a shaker in the travel industry. And I want to go ahead and turn it over to Lori Speers. So let me go ahead and stop sharing. And Lori, let me go ahead and unmute you. Oh, let me make you the host. There you go.
Can you hear me?
I can.
And can you see me?
Let me stop my video. Nope, go ahead.
I just want to say hello to everybody. And did we love Mark? Oh my gosh, I was just sitting over here so taken and into it and listening to him and getting fired up. I'm going to go light up my eye decide. I was just loved your story, loved your message. It was fabulous. And everything you covered as well. It was unbelievable. So now I want to talk a little bit. I think he was so exciting. I just don't even know where to start, but I want to talk to you about extreme and boomerang. I know a lot of people are asking, what's the difference? How are they related? Please tell us this. So I want to take my time today to let you know that. One, Extreme Travel's been in business several years, over 19 years as a travel agency, and we've partnered with ibüümerang. We support and partner them in travel. And you have so many emails to already remember. I'm going to throw another one at you. And I'm sorry I don't have great slides for you to see. Mark's also good in his slides. And some of those pictures, Mark, are gorgeous. I love Paris. It's my favorite. So I want to tell you about, if you have some travel that you can't book on your iGo platform because it can't be booked because it's not offered. For example, maybe they don't offer a certain property that you're looking for. Maybe, well, they don't let you book more than, I think, 6 rooms at a time. So any kind of a group, anything like that. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to refer that to Extreme Travel. Now, make sure first that this isn't a good boomerang, because if you need to send a boomerang for this business, you want to do that first. And as soon as you refer travel, we're going to call you and walk you through the differences. That's something we do all day long on our referrals. Because if you can send a boomerang to a customer and you can get that customer to start booking travel with you every time they want to book travel, that's a lot better than just referring over that one trip. So really evaluate, do I want this to be a boomerang or do I want to refer it to Extreme Travel? Once you refer it to Extreme Travel, we take that and we give it to a professional, very, very experienced agent. We have several in our office. And they take that travel and they'll help you with it. It's not the same prices as what you're going to see on iGo. That's the number one thing everybody needs to understand. Those iGo prices are fabulous. I'm going to go over some with you today if I have time that I found just playing around and loving it. I've seen so many sites I've never fallen in love and utilized one like I do this one. But they have unmatched, beatable prices that we're not going to be able to get at Extreme Travel because we don't access the iGo platform. That's a membership platform. That's your platform with your people on there. I have one as well, but that's my membership. So also when you refer travel to Extreme, you're going to make 25% of the commission. So we're going to book it with a cruise line or a tour operator that pays commission, so you can make 25% of the commission by referring it. Sometimes that comes up higher, sometimes lower than if you send a boomerang, but the prices are usually higher than your boomerang or iGo price. I know this sounds a little confusing, but it's only for groups and things that you wouldn't be able to normally book on iGo. We get quite a few travel referrals a day, and 99% of them are groups, and we can't do group airfare at this time. It's got to be a group cruise or a group resort, some type of a travel package. So if you're sending over for airfare, you'll probably get a response from me that that isn't something we could do. At this time, we are always improving our services all the time. So this is what you want to do, is send a boomerang and make a customer. You want to get, I forgot her name, who had 100, oh yeah, Renee Young with 104 customers. You want to be like that. That's going to be the most profitable in the big picture. But if there is some type of travel like groups, wedding, family reunion that can't be done because on a site like your iGo platform, you can't do multiples like that, then you want to send it to Extreme. And the way you do that today is send an email. One more email to remember. Sorry about that. support@extremetravel.com. Now, soon this will be offered in your back office, and it will actually be a form that you fill out that'll give you the exact information, which is going to be a lot better for you. So watch for that. Watch for that form in the back office, but right now it's support@extremetravel.com. And the criteria will be laid out, so you don't have to remember this, what I went over today, in your back office. But today, I'm just laying it out there to you. And if you send one that doesn't fit the criteria, we'll communicate back and forth and let you know. Now, if you send it and it has your, let's say you're sending a travel referral for a cousin's wedding, then we're going to call the cousin, work it out for you, and call you as well to let you know it's been done and let you know what you're going to receive on that. So that's how Extreme Travel, that's one way. There's lots of other ways too, behind the scenes and doing some groups and some, special trips that may be announced later for certain ranks and stuff that we support. ibüümerang 100% in a partnership. It's not two different companies. We support them, and that's what I want you to understand, that philosophy. Now, let me talk a little bit about my favorite thing, which is your iGo platform. I want to share my story. Just recently had my daughter-in-law wants to go to Napa Valley. And she said, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. Their generation, my son and his wife, love to put it all over Facebook for recommendations. And I said, I've got a website for you. You've got to go over there and check it out, And I sent her a customer site. And she called me immediately and said, oh my goodness, I've been looking and getting recommendations for places to stay, getting all kinds of ideas. And this site is giving me the best prices at the top resorts. How did you do this? Not only that, when you go under activities, which I'm going to share my screen here in a minute so I could show you that, she saw all these different activities to book while in Napa Valley. And she goes, wow, why haven't you shown me this sooner? And I thought to myself, why haven't I shown her this sooner? So think about how many people, because this is my son and his wife, that you may not have showed this to that could really benefit from it. People travel more than you think, and sometimes it's just weekend trips, but this site will help them get where they need to go with the savings, and you have a customer. Or maybe even a new TSA, because that's what I'm working towards. Imagine that. So I want to go on the site. Let me get my glasses on. I think I can share, right? Can I take over the screen, Mark?
I think so. That's right.
Okay. I just wanted to go and show them a couple things. If you're not able to do that, I could just talk about them.
Yeah, you might want to do that because we've had some technical difficulties this morning.
Oh, okay, not a problem. Let me just continue. Let me just continue talking about them because I have them right here in front of me. For example, in Napa Valley, I saw one of the very nice resorts that she was looking at was a Silverado. And she said, oh, I really want to stay at this one, but it's very expensive. We have 28% savings on that resort. She was like, you're kidding me. She couldn't find it anywhere like that. So she booked that resort. Then after that, we went into activities, I want to get this back on my screen so I could tell you about it as we went into activities, and she found all these Napa Valley tours, escorted tours in a private SUV, helicopter tours, all that stuff on our site. I think you forget, and remember those of you in the first class package, that's why you have it, okay? You have a lot more offered to you in the iGo platform in the first class package. First of all, you get weeks. Weeks blow me away. Just today, before, not while Mark was talking, because I was paying complete attention to Mark, but before that, I looked up some week stays that are there right now. Grand Palladium in Cancun, $199 for 2 people for 7 days, June 1st or June 15th. If you haven't booked your vacation yet, you better get in there and book that, because that is incredible. I've stayed at the property. It's very nice. And it's $199. Like what I always say, you can't even stay home for that. I know I'm probably going to spend $100 today, and who knows, my husband may too. And $199 for 7 days for 2 people at the Grand Palladium in Cancun. Great property. Now, I am going to tell you something. Some of those properties are all-inclusive and some aren't. And if they're all-inclusive, you have to read after you book over to the side all the rules, because sometimes they have all-inclusive fees added too. That's a Lori tip, and it's not even Tuesday. Okay, so now I want to tell you, if you look under hotels though, under the hotel tab at the top, it says hotels, and then it has 2 separate tabs, all inclusive. So under hotels, it's broke up, hotels and all inclusive. Go check out those all inclusives if you haven't, because they have great savings. I saw the El Dorado Royale on there just today for June at a 38% savings. I mean, my goodness, and it's all inclusive. I think it was like $257 a night for 2 people, including all your meals and all your drinks, and that's a total 5-star property. So be sure to check out both those tabs. Check just the hotels. It defaults to the hotels, but there's another little tab at the top of the hotels there that says all-inclusive. Click that to get the all-inclusive properties, bigger savings, and for your customers, bigger savings back to you. Don't forget that. So as you're sharing this with your customers, and I share this information with you, you should share this with them when you get an opportunity, how to utilize their iGo platform to the maximum. Okay, you can sit there and you can compare. I always stay at the Marriott Marquis, let's say someone thinks, in New York City. So I'm just going to compare that to Expedia to this. Well, maybe that was one hotel that we don't have a huge savings at. That's not the real way to use your iGo platform. You utilize it by filtering the highest savings, which it defaults to, the highest savings. So you get those 38, 48, 70% savings hotels right at the top. And that's where you book, because you want to save the most, because you'll make the most when you save the most. Not only is it not coming out of your pocket, but you teach your customer to do this as well, and that savings comes back to you. That's why we love customers. Now, this is very important to utilize this the correct way. Get into the weeks and teach people about the weeks. The weeks have the biggest savings. I was just on a call with a lady that owned a travel agency, and she had a really good deal, and she didn't think this was a good deal for her until I showed her those weeks. She goes, oh my goodness, I can't even believe you could get these weeks at this price. So you never know, out of all the features on there, what's going to be the most interesting to your customer or to the person that you're showing it to. And don't forget to always check for yourself. We also have airfare on the iGo platform, but please be sure you let people know it's competitive. There's not a savings on it. We're not claiming it's lower. It will sometimes be higher, and it will sometimes be lower, but it's not one of the things that we say we've always got a savings on. Different features have different qualifications. Airfare has so many variables. And a lot of times when you're booking on your iGo platform and you see it comes up unavailable, inventory not there, it's because it's reaching out to a lot of third parties, and airfare happens so quickly. It's not like when you go to one airline's website and it's, you know, this is a little different. So it could be that that price you were looking at already sold out, and that's why you're getting that response. And you should wait a while and go back or move forward into different flights. So that flight component is there for you so you can book flights. It's just not one of the biggest saving things. One of the things, the features that I like, hotels, especially the all-inclusives, big savings there. And all the hotels, especially if you pick the right one. I don't think I've ever traveled in the last, I don't know how long now, 2-3 years. I haven't used this platform. And that's a big thing for me to say, because I can call and get travel agent rates almost anywhere I want, but I don't, because this is better. And that's what I've told my travel agents in Extreme, this is better. So use it correctly. Also, again, emphasize the weeks and lifestyle. If you haven't clicked on the lifestyle tab, do so. Go under each of those, because we have activities to everywhere. Amusement park tickets, like I just talked about Napa Wine Valley. For an example, when I went to Italy and I was in Positano for the day, I wanted a private driver. I didn't want to go with a group of people on a bus. This one day I was making it special for me, as you should always do, everyone. Always, always. At least give yourself one special day. A little extra special. It might cost you a little bit of money, but it's worth it. We had a private driver. He took us around in his private car, went wherever I wanted to go, stopped when I wanted to stop, took us to the most beautiful places to eat lunch, overlooking the beautiful bay. I mean, just picturesque. And knowing the owners of the restaurant, they brought in a spread for us, limoncello after, special that they made in their basement. I mean, it was just like a very good experience, because I allowed myself to get this private driver for this one destination. Now, the problem is I'm hooked on private drivers wherever I go, but that's my problem. But you can get these under Lifestyle tab in your iGo platform. Under Lifestyle, under Activities, they have things like helicopter tours, private drivers, private, if you want to go to amusement parks, everything is under that Lifestyle tab. That's only one part. There's also gift cards. There's also restaurants. There's a wine club, many things under there. And at the very bottom, worldwide tours, which is showing you escorted tours to Ireland, Italy, that can put you on these great tours, and they are at a great price. And it's right there, and it's hidden. You know, I suggested that get moved up front, because that's a big one. So you may see things move around. One thing that we're hoping to add soon, I'm in the middle of doing it, is bundled packages. Packages with the hotel and airfare bundled together. I can't tell you when that's going to come out for sure, but we are working on it, and it will be coming for you. So I just wanted to give you a little idea. I'm not going to go into everything, because I'm going to tell you what, I could sit here and talk for hours and hours about your iGo platform, Extreme Travel, and how we want to support you to be all that you can be. We have a daily touch policy in the travel department. When you give us a referral, that we are to get in touch with you until you're completely satisfied, because there's a lot of times we'll get a referral, we call somebody, there's a little phone tag going on. We are not going to give up until we get a hold of you and make sure that we can help you, or if we couldn't help you, we understand that, but we're going to keep hounding you. So I hope that's okay. So if you haven't gotten a call and you put in a referral, please email support@extremetravel.com, because I'll make sure you get a call within 10 minutes. That's what we do. So there's another feature that I'm going to go over on another time. I don't know how much time I have left, but there's another feature on the iGo platform, and that's cruises, that really calls for a lot of explanation. So maybe I can get on next Saturday, and maybe Mark won't hog all my time. No, no, you were so good, Mark. You just started my day out so good with your enthusiasm, and your personal story really touched my heart. So we will go over the cruise part when I can share the screen, because there's things I need to show you and how you make money on that, and all the different things about it. Because as you look at it today, and this is all I'm going to say about it today, is it is competitive to the prices you're going to see anywhere else. It pays back like a rebate, and you get a commission of that. So even though the price isn't lower when you look at the cruises, you get money back on it, and that's how you make money. And I'll go over those percentages and everything with you on another Saturday call. Maybe I'll even put it on. I hope everyone's getting on the Facebook Live for the travel tips with Lori on Tuesday. I'm trying to creatively share tips with travel and different things that you could do. And again, if you have anything, you can email me, Lori@extremetravel.com. I'm here for everybody who needs any help all the time. I think I kind of went over everything I wanted to. I just want to say I'm real excited about our relationship with iboomerang. I see nothing but great things happening. And if you didn't get fired up with everything Mark told you this morning, and now all these tools that you have with your iGo, I'm telling you, how can we not be so excited? I know I am. Is there anything else, Mark, you wanted me to talk about?
No, that was excellent. That was
Okay.
excellent, Lori. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I'd love to come back and just do maybe every Saturday, just one feature, so people get a clear understanding.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to have you back again and again and again. And, like you said, those travel tips on Tuesdays that you're doing are absolutely awesome. Those are great. So keep doing those. And I know they're getting a lot of interaction and engagement. So, yeah, keep those coming. Love them.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you for everything today. I loved hearing your story.
All right. Excellent. So let me grab the, yeah. Well, let me start my video. Yeah. You need to give me back the
Okay.
control.
Back the control.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Oh boy. All right.
Let's see. I love this. This just makes it real.
It does.
Okay. You can. It already says all panelists can share, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and let me go to this last slide. All right. I think this is the last one, and hopefully you can see this. Can you see it?
I can.
Special CEO announcement. All right. Listen, this is going to be a critical call that you need to be on. And it's Holton Buggs himself. Obviously, he is the chairman and CEO of iboomerang. He is an icon in the industry. And last Wednesday, we were pretty much planning everything out, Holton leading the charge. And the plan that has been put together is starting to get rolled out, and it starts on Monday. So Monday, May 6th, 2:00 p.m. Central Standard. I don't know where you're at in the world, but whatever it is that you're doing, you need to put it on hold, get on this call. There will be more details about the call information, and it'll be on Facebook. It'll also probably be emailed out to you, to all the TSAs, but you want to be on this call. It is a do not miss call. And he's going to be rolling out exactly how these next several months are going to be rolling out. And he's going to definitely be talking about the dual team builder that's getting launched on Monday, what it means to you, what it means to your business, and how it's going to support you in getting to where you want to get to. And also, if you want to hashtag get out of debt, hashtag do the right things, and all of those things that we're all driving towards right now to be successful. So be on that call. Just make sure, put it in your calendar right now. Make sure that it is carved out, the time is carved out, and that you will be able to get the information firsthand immediately on Monday. So with that, I want to thank you, Lori. Your travel tips are awesome on Tuesday. Also, we've got something new. We've got leadership tips from the top that are coming to you on Thursday. So on Thursdays, you're going to see those on a regular basis. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot to get done. Be sure that you get with your sponsor and work through that fast start training that we talked about. And remember, we're in the white zone right now, massive exposure. So get out there and utilize the calls, the Zoom calls, get to the meetings and the events, and get your 4 good parties booked today. Don't wait. And so there's going to be a call at noon Central Standard Time with Tanya Mazel Joseph. I'm going to be on at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Zoom call right there on Facebook Live as well. So go ahead, get your people on there, get people into massive action, massive exposure. And when you do that, you're going to be able to rock and roll in your business and see your business grow. And that sets you up for the blue zone and then the red zone. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the training today. So congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, ahead of time. And Lori and I are going to look forward to seeing you on next week's Flight School.
Yay. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.